All right, today we're diving into a philosopher who pretty much turned our whole idea of reality on its head, Ernst Cassirer. His work gets right to the heart of one of the biggest questions we've ever asked ourselves.
Seriously, think about it. How do we know what's really real? I mean, for thousands of years, this single question has driven so much of philosophy. It's kind of the ultimate puzzle, right?
Okay, so for a long, long time, the thinking went something like this. Philosophy was this grand quest, and the goal? To get past all the messy human stuff. Our senses, our words, our art. The idea was to peel all that back, like layers of an onion, to finally see some kind of pure, objective truth at the center.
And on this big quest, two main camps formed. First, you had Team Rationalist. For them, truth was all about pure, abstract ideas. Think math. It's perfect, it's logical. And our language, our symbols, they're just shoddy copies of that perfection. Then you had Team Empiricist. They were like, no, forget that. Truth comes from what we can see, touch, and feel, raw sensation. To them, words and symbols weren't just flawed. They were actively getting in the way, tricking us.
But here's the crazy part. Even though these two sides argued about everything, they were secretly on the exact same mission. Both of them were trying to do the same thing. Tear down this curtain of symbols and just see what's actually on the other side. To get a direct look at the real with a capital R.
Okay, so this is where everything changes. Enter Ernst Cassirer. He comes along and says, essentially, hey everyone, what if you're all looking at this from the wrong angle? He offers a totally new way to see the problem.
So Cassirer sees everyone trying to get beyond the symbols, and he drops this bombshell of a question. What if the symbols aren't the problem? What if they're not a veil at all? What if the entire question philosophers have been asking for centuries is the wrong one?
And that leads us to his big idea, the symbolic form. Here's the core of it. For Cassirer, symbols don't hide reality from us. No way. They are the very tools we use to build our reality. Think of it like a construction kit. This symbolic form is our unique human talent for taking all the raw data from our senses and using it to construct these rich, meaningful worlds, like myth or art or science. The symbols aren't in the way, they're the architects.
You see, this one insight just flips the entire mission of philosophy on its head. It goes from being a critique of reason, which was all about trying to make our brains match some single outside reality, to becoming a critique of culture. Suddenly, the job isn't to find the one true reality anymore. The new job is to understand how we as a culture create lots of different, equally valid realities using all these different symbolic toolkits.
Okay, I know this might sound a little out there, a bit abstract, so let's bring it down to earth. We're going to take one single idea, the idea of space, and look at how it gets built in three totally different ways, creating three totally different but equally real worlds.
First up, mythical space. Now, forget everything you learned in geometry. This isn't a boring, empty grid. This space is alive. It's charged with emotion and meaning. The fundamental division here isn't about meters or feet. It's about the holy versus the profane. Directions like east and west aren't just coordinates. They have real magical significance, sometimes life or death power. Where something is in this space actually defines what it is.
All right, next is perceptual space. This is basically the space of common sense, the one you and I live in every single day. It's a world built around stable things that have certain properties. I mean, just think about it for a second. Your eyes are getting hit with this constant chaos of light and shifting shapes, but your brain, it builds a stable world of chairs and tables and people. It's a super practical reality we construct just so we can get around and, get stuff done.
And number 3, we have conceptual space. This is the world of physics and geometry, that abstract, perfectly uniform, infinite grid. This reality isn't made of thingins at all. It's a system of pure logical relationships. And it's an incredibly powerful tool for things like science and prediction. But, and this is the really important part, we didn't just stumble upon this space out in nature. It's a reality we built. We constructed it using pure thought.
So, let's step back. What does all this mean? Looking at these 3 different versions of space gives us a completely new and honestly profound way to think about what it even means to be human. It means that the world of myth, the world of our everyday senses, and the world of science, they're not in a competition. They aren't wrestling to see which one is the one true reality. One isn't better or more real than the other. They're just different symbolic languages, different toolkits that we use to build meaning and create a world to live in. And they are all valid.
And this all builds to Cassirer's most powerful, most famous idea about us. He said that what really defines us as a species isn't that we're rational, it's that we're symbolic. His exact words are, "Man is not a rational animal, but a symbolic animal." Our deepest, most fundamental impulse is to create these webs of meaning and then to live inside them.
So in the end, Cassirer's whole philosophy lands right back in our laps with one last, really challenging question. If it's true that we build our reality with the symbols we use, the words we choose, the stories we tell, the science we practice, then the question isn't just about philosophy anymore. It's about you. What world are you building?